Welcome to this introduction and the summary of the Book of Genesis, brought to you by the Worldwide Truth Ecumenical Movement. Genesis is not just the first book of the Bible, it's the beginning of everything. Creation, humanity, and the unfolding story of faith. In other words, Genesis, meaning origin or beginning, is the first book of both the Jewish and Christian Bibles. It lays the foundation for the entire biblical narrative and answers fundamental questions about the world, humanity, and God's relationship with creation. In this video, we'll explore the key themes and context behind Genesis, offering a deeper understanding of where it all began. Thank you for joining us on this journey, seekers of truth. Be sure to share, subscribe, and leave your comments as we embark on this transformative exploration together. Here's a breakdown of the key events and themes. Creation, chapters 1 to 2. God creates the universe, including light, sky, land, vegetation, sun, moon, stars, sea creatures, birds, land animals, and finally humanity, Adam and Eve in his image. God establishes the Sabbath day as a day of rest and sanctifies it. The fall, chapters 3 to 5. Adam and Eve disobey God's command not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. As a result, they are banished from the Garden of Eden, and sin and death enter the world. This is a major turning point. Cain and Abel, chapter 4. The story of the first brothers. Cain murders his brother Abel out of jealousy. This illustrates the spread of sin and violence after the fall. Genealogies, chapter 5, lists the descendants of Adam, tracing the lineage through generations. The flood, chapters 6 to 9. Humanity becomes increasingly wicked, leading God to send a great flood to cleanse the earth. Noah, a righteous man, is instructed to build an ark and save his family and pairs of all animals. After the flood, God makes a covenant with Noah, promising never again to destroy all life with a flood. The rainbow is given as a sign of this covenant. The Tower of Babel, chapter 11. Humans, united in language and purpose, attempt to build a tower that reaches to heaven. God scatters them by confusing their languages, explaining the origin of different languages and nations. Abraham, chapters 12 to 25. This section introduces Abraham, a key figure in the Old Testament and considered the father of the Jewish people. God calls Abraham to leave his home and promises to make him the father of a great nation and to bless all nations through him. Abraham demonstrates his faith through various trials, including his willingness to sacrifice his son Isaac, which God ultimately prevents. God establishes a covenant with Abraham, promising land and descendants. Isaac, chapters 21 to 26, focuses on Abraham's son Isaac, his marriage to Rebekah, and the birth of their twin sons Esau and Jacob. Jacob, chapters 27-50. This section tells the story of Jacob, later renamed Israel. Jacob deceives his father Isaac to receive the blessing intended for his older brother Esau. He flees to his uncle Laban, where he marries Leah and Rachel, and fathers 12 sons who become the founders of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob wrestles with God and receives the name Israel. Joseph, chapters 37 to 50. This is the longest continuous narrative in Genesis. Joseph, one of Jacob's favorite sons, is sold into slavery in Egypt by his jealous brothers. Through a series of events, Joseph rises to power in Egypt and eventually saves his family from famine. The story concludes with Jacob and his family moving to Egypt, setting the stage for the Exodus story. Thank you for watching and listening to this introduction to the Book of Genesis, brought to you by Worldwide Truth Ecumenical Movement. We're just getting started, and in our upcoming videos we'll dive deep into the stories of Genesis, exploring them in rich detail. So stay tuned. Remember to share, comment, and subscribe to keep journeying with us. As always, let's continue to seek truth together with joy.